In this video, we're going to be looking at the filter method of the array. We'll be able to look at quite some number of methods that can be used on arrays. The filter method is also a useful method that is used to filter or select some elements based on desired criteria. So if I have an array like this, I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Let's say I need I want to extract elements that are or numbers that are greater than 5. I can comfortably use the filter method to do that. Like we can see with this structure, this is the syntax for the filter array. So we have this array of numbers, and I want to get, in this case, we are getting the even numbers. So you call the array, so numbers, in this case is the array dot filter, and then you provide the function. Now this function, you write an expression that evaluates to either true or false. So if the condition evaluates to true, if the expression evaluates to true, then that particular element will be returned. Excuse me. But if it evaluates to false, then that element will not be returned. So we're going to see that in action shortly. So what this function does is it gives you each of these elements. So when you execute this function, it's going to loop through all these elements 1 2 3 4 5 to the last element, and for each of these elements, this function is going to be, or this expression is going to be executed on that element. So when you have 1, then in that case number will be 1. So we say number modulus 2. That's just saying this will give you a remainder of what will remain when you divide number by 2. So if this is equal to 0, then it means this is an even number. So in that case, so if this is an even number, it's going to be returned to this new array of even numbers that will be formed, right? So but if it's not, then it's not going to be returned. So like I explained before, if this expression results to true, then that particular element will be returned. But if it results to false, then that element will not be returned. So it won't be part of the new array that will be formed. So let's see that in action quickly. So let's have some arrays here. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. So we want to return numbers that are greater than 5. So to be able to do that, we say let me say new array. Let me use this will be equal to numbers dot filter. Then inside here you define your function. So we're going to use an anonymous function, and we pass a parameter of num. So this is an arrow function, and if you don't want to use this method, you can as well define your function down here, but in our case we're going to do everything together. Alright, so here we will write an expression that will either result to true or false depending on this value. So like I explained earlier, this filter function is going to iterate over these values, these elements. So it will pick them one after the other, and that's what you have here as num. So first it will start with 1, so num will be 1. Whatever expression we have here we run, and if it's true then the element will be returned. If it's not true, it will be ignored. So we're going to return num is greater than 5, right? So like I said before, your expression here is supposed to evaluate to either true or false. So when you say num is greater than 5, this is going to evaluate to either a true or false value. So if the current number is greater than 5, then it's going to be true. But if it's not greater than 5, then it's going to be false. Right. So let's print that on the screen. New array. Okay, so let's see how this runs. Okay, so we can see the new array we have 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So you can see that the content of the new array is all the elements are greater than 5. So because of this condition that was defined here. So this is how we can use the filter method. I can as well have elements that are less than 5. So if I want elements that are less than 5, I can do this, and you can say that in this case I have elements that are less than 5, right? So this is how we can filter elements of an array. So aside numbers, we can also use this function of strings. So let's say I have an array of names. Okay, so this is John, Andrew, Paul, let's see, Joy, Peter. Okay, let me add one more. Let me go with blessing, like this. Okay, so if I want to filter this array, let's say I want to return let's say I want to return names whose length is greater than, okay, this is 4, this is the length of 4, this is the length of 3, this is the length of 4. So let's say greater than 4 and see what we get. So keep making mistake. So I can say names.filter, and then I'll provide my function, and I provide name as a parameter. So name is going to be returned for each of these values. So here I'm going to return name.length. So this is a method on the string. So name.length is greater than 4. So if excuse me, if name.length is greater than 4, then this is going to be true, and that element is going to be included in this new array. But if it's not, then it's not going to be included, because that will evaluate to false. So let's see the elements that are greater than 4 in length. So new array, let's clear this. Okay, so here we have 3 elements. So we have Andrew, Peter and Blessing. So these are the names whose length is greater than 4. We can do this for 3, and we have more names here. So in this case, I think it's only Joy that wasn't included, because Joy is the only one that is 3. Yeah, so we can use this with numbers, we can use it with strings, we can use it with even objects. So any data type at all. So this is how we use the filter method of an array. So we have first you write the name of the array, in this case names.filter, and then you provide a function that will execute and return either a true or false value. So if the result is true, if the function returns true, then that value will be included, but if it returns false, then the value will be excluded. Yeah, so that's it for this video. See you in the next video.